Welcome back to Bronze League Heroes in the bottom right. The red Terran player. It is Captain Napalm, and figuring out how to use emotes that just say letters anyways, the blue Terran. On the top left side of Nightshade, it is Mike Literis. Sending out two SCVs, Terran versus Terran. The iconic matchup for Bronze League Heroes, as we all know. The lower leagues rife with heroic Terran players. Originally, because the starter edition, the free version of StarCraft 2, only included the Wings of Liberty campaign. And that is still true to this day. So one SCV is heading towards the third of Captain Napalm. Jimmy. Yeah, we can do better. Yeah, much better. He's going to proxy his third Rex. No, wait, his second Rex. It's going to be a one Rex proxy after the first Rex finishes, which is a very unique opener. Meanwhile, Captain Napalm is going to scout. What is he going to see? Will he know what he's seeing? We'll have to find out. I'm interested to see what the intent for this low ground barracks is. The SCV chasing Captain's SCV is a little unmotivated right now, but it'll get its rear in the gear and finally make it back to the, back inside the base. Meanwhile, Captain's SCV is just not particularly into, ooh, goodbye. Hide the body. So, Mike is building Marines. Next up is a factory. He's just going to go ahead and build the rest of his base out here because it's much closer to his opponent that way. And that way he can attack. Very simple. Thought I was going to come up with something clever to describe what was happening, but no. No, I just got the most obvious description of rush distances in the history of StarCraft. The Marines will trickle in one by one across the map. A command center by Captain Napalm. One Marine will be sacrificed for the greater good. Another Marine will be sacrificed for the lesser good. Two Marines this time. Oh, he targets down the SCV building the bunker. But, unfortunately, we'll lose both Marines. Meanwhile, Mike. Okay. Oh, Mike. Mike is going to just go ahead and float on into his opponent's base because why wouldn't he? Oh, the bunker! The SCV, it just needed to cut the ribbon on it. Oh, the bunker is at 29 out of... Oh, no. It's a disaster for Captain Napalm. He was less than a second... Well, this will help. Yeah, that helps. He was less than a second away from completing the bunker and easily cleaning up those Marines, but no. Meanwhile, Hellions are being produced in the main. Mike is... yeah, that's a command center. Because why wouldn't it be a command center? Don't be silly. Of course it's a command center. Oh, and the bunker finishes and starts on fire. And now we have to ask ourselves the eternal question, will it burn? Yes. Maybe it wasn't better to finish the bunker. The Hellions are just in the base. Somehow the starport being built does not see it. Surprise. Well, actually, let's go to the Captain Cam. Oh, he sees the... Where did those Hellions come from? They just teleported in. They blinked. He has blink hacks. No! No, he's still no reaction. SCVs. He's lost 9 of them so far. Mostly to these Hellions. Oh. Well, the Marines will eventually clean the Hellions up, but... So that wasn't ideal for Captain Napalm. He still hasn't really done the second step of this thought process of like, so how did the Hellions get in here in the first place? We haven't, there's been a lot going on, but once we eventually figure that out, then finally the source of the problem will be, oh, yeah, just send the barracks in too. Mike has now expanded to a very safe and normal location. You know, I think this barracks might give the whole thing away, as it's going to land in vision range of, okay, well, oh my god. So the command center moved from the right all the way over to the left side of the base. What is that? So somehow this barracks is not in vision range, by the way. So the only part of the base he can't see contains a whittle mine, a barracks, a factory, 2 Hellions, and a Marine. Whose scan is that? That is Mike's scan. Oh, he sees it's right there. I'm going to the Captain Cam. Give me the Captain Cam. Captain, not reacting quite yet. Oh, Hellions at the base again! Oh no! Both sides. We lost everyone. Okay, no, wait. No, Captain. Struggling to react. What is this? Why is there a depot there? It doesn't matter. The Liberator is going to be mostly uncontested. Depends on the Marines back at home. Captain is losing. He drops mules, which is, I mean, optimistic. Here come the Marines, but a lot of them badly bruised from earlier. And there's also a Widow Mine. Meanwhile, the Liberator hard countered by a flanking turret. Another Liberator going to be sent out. Captain is down to 14 SCVs. He's lost 21. Oh no, the Widow Mine connects. It will not actually kill the Liberator, and the Liberator will take its revenge, but the Hellions are sneaking by. More SCVs will die before this is all said and done. A total of 23 now. The buildings will lift off. Meanwhile, this has been scouted. I don't think Captain is reacting to it as of yet, but the command center is at the 3rd. So, he can now hit his opponent's refinery. Mike is going to go ahead and take his very expensive dropship with 5 SCVs in it and move along with his life. But I don't think he's going home. He's finding... Oh, well, yep, those are floating buildings. Captain Napalm does establish that indeed those buildings can fly, which is seems pretty unfair. Meanwhile, 4 Marines being perfectly split into a contain at the net. Oh. I don't know where they're going. The base has retreated. A tactical withdrawal from Mike, not a full retreat. And it looks like we're going to be going into a macro game. Unfortunately for Captain Napalm, he's still at 14 SCVs. He's just now catching up. Meanwhile, Mike is going to go ahead and get everything else. He's getting 4 turrets. The TPM continues to raise. Couple more barracks. Factory, starport, fusion core. Because why not? All the goods. Meanwhile, Captain is deathly afraid of moving out of his base, despite the fact that even things in his base have killed him so far. The Vikings, though... very effective. Oh, these SCVs, not a big fan of Captain. Captain obviously has not downloaded the minimap DLC and cannot tell when enemy units are in his base, which just isn't very nice. Meanwhile, the Vikings will slaughter even more SCVs. He's down. Oh, what a micro god. The Viking micro off the charts. He just lifts. Oh, and he goes to the other side of the mineral line where he will also kill SCVs. He's down to 10. It's real rough out there to be an SCV. Okay. He has less than he started with. But he does have 47 to 21 army supply. So if Captain Napalm can get it all together and attack, and now where does he attack? That's also a good question. Then he might have what it takes to just kind of bring home a victory. Of course, a battlecruiser is halfway done, making things even more complicated. Oh, the Liberator finds this base. And now just a little bit of return fire. 34 to 3 workers killed thus far, with Mike being a, well, in a significant advantage. The medevacs are going to take the scenic route to the enemy base. The TPM has been raised enough. Well, down goes the Liberator. Oh, drop counter to the Liberator. Meanwhile, the medevacs unscouted, but even if they had flown over the Marine, would it have mattered? Who knows? A drop in the corner with a battlecruiser in support! Okay. A mule drops for repair, or for BM, but por qué no los dos? Why not both? So a battlecruiser and a medevac mostly full of Marines with a mule will slaughter more SCVs that the double drop unloads in the back of the base. The turret a hard counter to medevacs. But there's almost nothing here to defend against this. So both sides are obliterating the mains of their opponents with almost no hope for defense. There's more to kill in Mike's base, but Captain Napalm is back. He's now lost 43 SCVs and counting. The Cyclone trying to lock on. It does. Will he micro it? The battlecruiser's not targeting the Cyclone. The Cyclone actually does really well against battlecruisers. Going to be really close. Oh, he doesn't kill it. What a save. But meanwhile, the orbital's going to go down. Captain destroys the orbital of his opponent, but he's down to 8 SCVs. He's going to lose his own main base as well. Maybe now is not the time. Lift up and go, inspired by his opponent. A Cyclone to counter the battlecruiser, but it's been mostly repaired by the mules. The siege continues from within the base of both players. Cyclone locks on. There is one Widowmine to work with. This Cyclone going to be taken out. He's obviously distracted on the other side of the map. The supply is surprisingly even despite all the action. And remember, Mike, his forward operating base might just become his main before this is all said and done. Meanwhile, where did the battlecruiser go? Wait, where did it go? I don't... Where's the... Oh, it jumped home. The main base. Well, the mules are left behind, but... So, by the way, Captain knows this base exists. He knows it's there. Oh, the turret almost killed. The fusion core's under attack. Is that enough Marines to actually kill the cruiser? Maybe with the medevac? No, not really. Yeah, not even a little bit. Never mind. So Cam's gonna lose his entire attacking force. But... So... $52 to 42 supply. The battlecruiser, 31 kills and counting. It's still alive. It's still going. And Captain, he's not supply blocked, but I mean, he's looking ahead. The medevac survives in the main. Another command center will be built. He's reestablishing his main base. Captain at 8 SCVs and refuses to build any more. But I mean, he still has money to burn, so... The battlecruiser badly bruised. A couple Widowmine hits could take it out. Captain's going to be working on another drop towards the main. The battlecruiser moves towards the net. 2 Widowmines. Big hit. Is that enough? No, the battlecruiser. It's at 23 HP. A strong gust of wind would kill it. This is not a planetary. Another base trade at the weirdest bases you could possibly have. Everybody's trying to get to the tank, but the Cyclone says no. Thankfully, the tank doesn't get a second shot off. Meanwhile, the army is... Well, I don't know whose main is it anyways. Mike is gonna lose another base, but he's re-expanded. This SCV has a whole lot of work to do. He will not. Yeah, he's got a whole agenda ahead of him. So we'll check back in about 25 minutes when he's done with that. Meanwhile, what happened to the battlecruiser? Battlecruiser lived with 23 HP. There's the tank, the tank and 2 Marines, more than enough to force the complete and total evacuation of what's left of the main base. The tank angrily looking at anything nearby, and a Widowmine hit comes through. He's going to re-siege on the high ground, down to 1 Marine. Reinforcements on the way back. 2 SCVs sent out by Mike. 14 to 13 workers is the total. He lost a lot of SCVs at that base. Oh, more SCV. Oh, my God. He's down to 10. No workers will survive. Oh, my. 52 killed. He's down to 9. But it looks like Captain Napalm. Oh, my God. So many hit. He's trying to target for the tank. Oh, the Marines are not happy. But Captain Napalm comes out of it with a supply lead. And only down 3 workers. Now, 3 workers would be a sizable percentage of income for either of these players, but that is besides the point. Meanwhile, the Carpenter SCV has made it through several of the buildings he is obligated to construct. The Battlecruiser is fully repaired, though, and that's quite a kicker. Stim and combat shields on the way, but they're not here yet. Widowmine gonna connect, soften things up, but down goes another SCV. Captain Napalm back underwater. Oh, the beautiful Battlecruiser Micro. The flying laser bathtub, almost impossible to track down with ground units. Only really Cyclones have a chance. Meanwhile, Mike is expanding to the bottom left corner because he can. 3 factories on the way right now for Mike. Captain Napalm has, well, turrets. The worker count is, I mean, it is what it is. Mike is a little more macro-oriented despite his mostly proxy strategy. But Captain Napalm, slowly, oh, I stress that word, slowly but surely, has worked up to a Marine tank composition. He's going to have Stim. He's going to have Combat Shield. He actually got +1 a while ago. So he's got all the makings of a Marine tank army. And by that I mean he has a bunch of Marines. He left the tank at home. The Battlecruiser, pretty good counter to a turret. But here we go again. There's no going home. You can't recall to a command center. Big design flaw. Another turret. Oh, the Battlecruiser will actually back away from this one. The tank is not sieged here. Very importantly, he scans ahead. The foresight is there. Meanwhile, the SCVs spot this, but he's just microing the Battlecruiser. The Battlecruiser rampaging, but the tank will be targeted down by Captain Napalm. The medevac gonna go down. Bunker, a very important part of things here. The Marines, the Marines doing pretty well. The Battlecruiser jumped home. He can't kill the Battlecruiser. He can maybe go for the Marines. He's trying to get the cruiser. It's not working out. Mike Literis is down to 11 workers, and most of them are repairing that Battlecruiser. But Captain Napalm only has 3 army supply, and that 3 army supply is this 1 tank. That's it. That's all he's got left. So the Battlecruiser is now at 51 kills, which is almost as much as there is supply on the map. And despite having a bare bones 1 base at his natural economy, high-sec auto-tracking, you know, honestly, not a bad choice for how this game has gone. It's pretty much that Battlecruiser and everyone else. That's it. Like, this Battlecruiser is the entirety of the game plan for Mike. There is nothing else. There's a handful of unupgraded Marines. Barely any SCVs. Now they're both, apparently they're both inspired to build SCVs now, but Captain is only on that 1 base. Oh, the Marines are really struggling. A Cyclone's about to finish. A Cyclone is a good counter as long as he micros it a little bit. Is there jump? He has jump. He can jump. He can jump. He needs to jump. Not. Oh, he jumps to his repair team. The Battlecruiser now at 56 kills, but we'll be everybody's building Cyclones. The classic mirror matchup situation where it's like, oh yeah, that unit exists. We should build those. So the Clone Wars have begun. Little does Captain Napalm know. Once again, Mike has out-macroed him by just building any amount of command centers. And Mike gonna stick with his guns. He's back to the fusion core. Battlecruiser coming back in. High-sec auto-tracking is done. The oh, come on! That turret ain't happening, but One lock on. He locks on with both. Good micro. We'll use the scans. All right, a lot of damage there because it's technically spell damage with the lock-ons. It is unaffected by the gratuitous armor of the battlecruiser, so it does a lot of damage. The SCV is still back to work for the third or fourth time, keeping this battlecruiser intact. We're at 20 minutes, and finally Mike reaches 69 supply. It's been a nice game so far, but it does appear Mike is stabilizing more quickly. Captain Napalm has discovered the command center button and has re-expanded to his main, which unfortunately has a total of he has 3-4 mineral patches, one of which has a significant amount of minerals. Mike has been mining from the bottom line. He's taken essentially everything else on this southern side of the map. He's taken a taste of the mineral patches. He's been forced off the closest two, but there we go. Yamato cannon on the way for the one battle cruiser, but that one battle cruiser has 58 kills. So well, let's make no mistake. It is the only thing that kept... Oh, the counter scan? Do we have a counter scan? No, he scans the main. But where's the counter scan from Captain Napalm? Are you going to let that go unanswered? A lot of cyclones here. He does not like battle cruisers. Well, the clone... As I said, begun. The Clone Wars have the mag field accelerator upgrade. There are 5 cyclones to 4 with 15 marines to just mix in there. Where did that battlecruiser end up? It's heading towards the main. He's going to try to execute another 2-pronged attack. The SCVs. Oh, my God. So many SCVs have died. Oh, but the cyclones. Multi-locks. Targets are locked. Will he jump? No, he just ran. Ah! What have you done? You had him. But the Oh, grasping defeat from the jaws of victory at the last possible second, but the Marines will stim and crush everything else. And once again, it was meant to be. The battlecruiser will be the only real unit left over as the entire attack is slammed, jammed, and smashed to smithereens. Magfield Accelerator is closing in, and that'll double the damage against armored targets with lock-ons like battlecruiser. Essentially, the battlecruiser would just disappear to 2 lock-ons. It's pretty disgusting. But the battlecruiser survives. 62 kills. And counting. More turrets on the way. Captain Napalm has been very tenacious. Despite his overwhelming losses, has refused to give up, which has essentially encouraged Mike to make the only thing he's done right is have this battlecruiser. The turret is exchanging fire. Here comes. Will this finally be the death of the hero cruiser? You gotta jump, Mike. You gotta get out of there. It's too late. The cruiser is down. $60 kills, but we'll get no more. Jimmy! Jimmy! We get it! Move along! Uh-oh. Jimmy, we're gonna have a talk after this. No, that bonus we were talking about, people didn't buy enough Jimmy coins. Okay? You're on thin ice! This is some preemptive long-distance mining. Well, just setting up a forward perimeter of turrets here at the... Oh, a scan? Who's scanning whom? Who? Mike now has a tank contained. He's given up on the cruisers ever since the hero cruiser went down. Wait, I take it back. A battlecruiser and high-sec auto-tracking. Name a more iconic combo. Battlecruiser sauntering. Oh, wait, there is a battlecruiser. There's a battlecruiser in the field right now. But he can target it down the tanks. The first. Oh, Mike has hit 100 supply. The first time of anyone this game. He scans. He sees it. He locks on to the battlecruiser. That's a lot of cyclones. The lock on does so much damage. The scan is helping a lot. From downtown, he can fire it. What's he going to do with this? Was that even on purpose? The drop goes out. Oh, yeah, he's known this base has existed the whole... Wait, has he? Well, he's about to. Anyways, well, that was not the ideal drop location. The tank siege is up, but the cyclones lock on, doing a whole lot of damage to key units here. He's holding on. Captain, though, there's no high ground. Well, the battlecruiser is the only high ground vision. The contain is down to a handful of Marines, a tank, and a battlecruiser. Captain still struggling as he's been this whole game. Building armors, Neil Steel armors on the way from Mike, who continues to expand on his supply lead. Oh, the battlecruiser, one lock. He stims the Marines for dramatic effect. He locks on with multiple. Wait, no. The battlecruiser, the lock-ons are there. It's on the run. It's going to kill multiple cyclones, but get killed in turn. The armies obliterate each other. Another battlecruiser shows up to the party. Mike is now banking more money than he can hope to spend. He's definitely struggling in that regard. He just needs to calm it down and focus on spending that money. But he's been fighting this whole... Oh my god, Mike was very optimistic about retaking this location. The boys will be pulled, and the boys will be killed for it. I don't think he does not have any planetaries, though he does have the engineering base. So that is one major oversight that could factor in here. He's now building a planetary, but it's a little bit late for that. Meanwhile, here come two cyclones and a tank. This base, where somehow we are required to base trade in every scenario. This is the quote-unquote main command center here, by the way. This base is under attack. He has not locked... Oh, he locks on with the clones, and the damage will rip through the planetary. No chance to live. Will go down. Battlecruiser, a few incidental SCVs adding to the count. We're at 68. Make that 69 and 70. Meanwhile, the clones don't know where they're going and will die for it. And suddenly, Captain is running out of options. He's running out of supply. And he's running out of hope. He has no units. At the start, there were only the boys. And at the end, it is the same. Mike has maintained an aggressive... We have the GG scans here from Captain Napalm. Mike has maintained an aggressive posture from start to finish, and despite the repeated breakouts of Captain Napalm, his flames will be doused. And Mike, with the hero cruiser, putting the team on his back and his very capable tactical jump drives, is able to take the victory. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe and comment. And who was the real hero of that game? Captain Napalm for his tenacious defense, or Mike for his stubborn attacking strategies? Thank you to FFT Private for judging that one worthy. And thank you to you for watching Bronze League Heroes.